All right. Welcome to Speaking of Zane, November 17th, 2024, 301st edition of Speaking of Zane. Sorry about the delay. Had some difficulties here, but we are live now, a little bit late actually, but hopefully we'll have some people try again. I know folks were looking at the bottom of the hour and I'm about 15 minutes late. Apologize for that. But good to have you all in here nonetheless. We had to skip a week. I was traveling, been doing a lot of traveling lately, 4 of the last 5 weeks, something like that. But good to be back in the seat and talking about Zane as we do on Sunday nights, keeping his memory alive by speaking his name. Speaking of Zane, good to have you all in here. Looks like my dad's in here. Carl is in here. Brenda Lusk is in here from Michigan. Hey, Brenda. And we always have some lurkers that are just observing. So welcome all. Good to have you in here. Had a busy week this last week. Well, hey there, Steve. I think this is the first we've ever had anybody join from Argentina, um, South America for that matter. But hope you and Kathy are having a good trip there. Enjoy watching the pictures and whatnot. And hopefully you'll have a fun rest of your trip and a safe return. Well, I mentioned I was I was in St. Louis for 3 weeks, home for a week, and then back to St. Louis last week. Um, and that's right. You're right, Dad. He did from South America. Yeah. But I spent a couple of days in St. Louis this past week and a couple of days in Denver. It's been a little while since I was out in Denver, a few years, and I had never been to our company's office out there. Very nice. Had a good time out there. The 2 days I was in St. Louis, I did Veterans Day related activities and got a chance to meet a bunch of veterans at the company I work for, some that I had never met before. We're 10,000 employees. I can't meet everybody, but um, me and a small team distributed some small tokens of appreciation this year. First time we've done it. We had some coins, challenge coins made up at work, and we handed out a very nice challenge coin, and I had some Red Friday t-shirts made, and we distributed a t-shirt and a coin to all the veterans that we could find, and we did that in 3 different locations over the 2 days, and still have a lot more to do there, and then I've got a lot I'll be mailing over the next couple of months as well. And while I was there, I actually was the recipient of a very nice challenge coin. You can see with our company logo. This was given to me by one of our global security team members. They had their own coin. Now, the guy, a couple of the guys who lead that global security team are veterans. One called Justin is a Marine, Brian is a Marine, and the guy that gave me this, Ian, he was Army. So got another coin for the collection there. Very nice. Good to have you. Good to have you all in here. Steve Ken's in here. Hey, Ken, good to have you in there. I know you were on a little trip this week, I think, to Texas, and hopefully that was a good trip and you're back safely. And I went out so that was the first couple of days. I did the Veterans Day related activities there at work, and then I went to Denver, and a friend of mine who is also a colleague of mine at work is an Army vet, and I got a chance to meet him for the first time face to face, and he and I are piloting a 6-week series. It's based on a book he wrote, and he does some mentoring for college age athletes, and he lives near the Air Force Academy, and he does some mentoring for some young Air Force officers as they're just striking out into life. And in fact, the program's called Game Plan for Life, and it's real interesting. And so we went out there. We piloted a group of 6 that went through the 6-week course. They met every week for 6 weeks, and we went out there to celebrate the completion of that portion of the mentoring program. But it's things like your finances, your health, all these kind of things that I guess you just can't take for granted that young people are equipped for, or that they learn from home. And so we're piloting that, and it just happened that 4 of the young people that were part of that are 4 that I know very well because they went through the academy that I lead at our company. So that's what I was out in Denver for. Before that, on November the 9th, see, I flew to St. Louis on the 10th, so we didn't have Speaking to Zane, but on the 9th, I participated in a 5K run, which I've done for quite some number of years, 5 or 6, 7 years now. That's based in St. Louis, downtown St. Louis. There's an organization called St. Patrick Center, and the run that they do every year is to raise awareness and raise funds for homeless veterans. So a worthy cause. We had almost 300 people from the company that I work at participate. I don't know how many total, but it's right through downtown St. Louis. Well, I did it from here. There's a virtual option. Obviously, everything became virtual during COVID, and so I did that on the 9th. And then continuing the month of November around Veterans Day activities, I'm co-hosting a like a webinar session tomorrow at work. Um, we call it a listening session, and it's all about this one is all about supporting veterans in the workplace. So it should be fun. I'm looking forward to that. My executive sponsor that I work with is a guy called Mike. He's been at the company 25 years. But good dude. He's executive vice president at the company, and he's gonna co-host with me. So that'll be fun. So over the weekend, my dad's in here. My dad and my sister drove up to Arnold Air Force. What is it? An Air Force station, Dad? Air Force Base, Air Force Station up in Tennessee. And my nephew, Cody, Captain Cody McDonald, he's the son of my brother Terry. He's been in the National Guard now for 10 or 11 years. Well, he just assumed command of his military police company. So he's a company commander now, and they had the change of command ceremony. So that was kind of fun. My sister and my dad went up there for it. Well, let's see. I don't know if Daryl's in here tonight, but Daryl, you remember Daryl had a knee replacement several weeks back. Well, he ended up having to go back into the hospital again with an infection or something. Anyway, I think he's still there. He considers himself incarcerated there at the, I think it's called the Missouri Baptist Hospital there. And I had hoped I would be able to go see him while I was in town, but I did not. I was not able to. But I think he's still there, and I know he's checking Facebook periodically. Let's see. So I am home for a couple of weeks now, which is kind of nice. This week, all of this coming week, and next week, and then Lori and I are heading to London for 2 weeks, first 2 weeks of December. So that'll be fun. Looking forward to getting back over there again and seeing my team. And Lori will be much more mobile this year, and she'll be able to get around and see some of the things that she wasn't able to last year when she was there. All right. Well, I had a good time watching. Saturdays are all about college football this time of year, and I did watch a good bit of it yesterday. I know Georgia Southern lost to Troy. The A&M game was good. A&M looked really good against New Mexico State, not the caliber team that they've played so far, but they did win handily. And the Georgia Tennessee game was good. That could have gone either way. Actually, I was kind of expecting Tennessee to win that one, but Georgia beat them. Georgia's number 8 now. Tennessee's number 10. And then I did watch the Texas game, Arkansas. Texas didn't play as well against Arkansas as you might have expected, and as well as the Texas fans may have wanted them to. But Texas is number 3. And then Nebraska got beat by another California team this last weekend. I think a couple weeks ago it was UCLA. And then yesterday they got beat by USC. Hat of the week always has something to do with what the heck is going on around here at the fabulous McDonald Estate and Insane Asylum. And this just happens to be the hat I was wearing this afternoon. And it happens to be one of Zane's hats. I treasure the couple of hats of his that I have. This was one of his hats. I often wear this one when I'm doing the yard work. It's very light, and that is the hat of the week. Well, let's see. I don't have any excuse for this, but I did not pull any this week in military history items. I do have some military-related things to talk about, as of course. But first, we'll move to the Veteran Cemetery Challenge. Now, before Daryl got pulled back into the hospital, he did make a visit to Jefferson Barracks, so I've got that cataloged. And of course, my dad and my sis always visit my mom and others there Evergreen. And then Lori made 2 visits over the last couple of weeks to Georgia National. She was out there on the way to a doctor's appointment, and she was going to put some flowers out, and they were going to be picking up the next day, so she didn't do that. She went back later that week and put some flowers there. So she had 2 visits since we last met, and then I made a visit out there today. Very beautiful weather here in Georgia, 70 degrees, sunny. And it was beautiful there, and spent a little time there. A lot of people were out there today. Typically, you'll see more people there on a Sunday. And then let's see. So if I add up the veteran cemetery visits, I think I arrived at 9 for the week total, which takes our count up to 1,329 visits to those sacred places where we bury our veterans. And always, I always used to say that it's my favorite place to go and my least favorite place. And I don't know if that changes over time, but it sucks that you have the reason to go there, but when it's a family member, but I do enjoy visiting there, and so I did today, and did my normal weekend shopping on the way home in Cartersville, Georgia. Everybody knows where Cartersville is. It's the next town north. Well, you go Atlanta, Marietta, Kennesaw, Ackworth, Emerson, Cartersville, and then on up Calhoun, and then up to Dalton, and then eventually to Chattanooga on this side of the state. So getting up there on the cemetery visits, and we had quite a few Thank a Vet challenges, Thank a Vet interactions, veteran interactions. I'm going to add my dad. I'm going to add the 5 he's talking about there at the Veterans Day. They do a nice Veterans Day service there in my dad's little town of Fitzgerald. So if I add 5, let me add it here, and then I'll tell you where the others. Okay. So Jimbo thanked. Jimbo went out to breakfast on Veterans Day somewhere, was feeding veterans, and Jim had thanked 4 vets and 4 firefighters. And then Ken's coming in with two thank yous there. So I'm going to add 2 more to my count. And I'll tell you what we're up to here in a minute. And my dad had, I mentioned my dad went up for my nephew's change of command ceremony. So he said he had 15 plus, but 15 is when he stopped counting. And then the 5 at the Veterans Day. So that was 20 this week for Dad. That's a good number. And then I had my buddy, I was talking about Jay, in the Denver office. That was 1. And then at the handing out the T-shirts and the coins, I had 10 at our headquarters building. And then I had 30 at our integration center, which is just about 30 miles away. It's over in Illinois, near Edwardsville, Illinois. So that was 41 for me. That may be a high for me. I don't remember. 41. So if I add all of those up, we had 71 for the week. Oh goodness, now we're going to have more than that because let's see, Steve Shirley is piping in here, so I'm going to have to adjust my number here. So we'll go 27. Well, that's pretty good. You guys were able to do that on the ship there, Steve. I don't remember if you posted any pictures of that, but if you did, I'll go back and look. And you had, I'm going to count your Remembrance Day as well That reminds me of something. Um, I have a couple of vets in our London office, and they recognize Remembrance Day, of course, all the Commonwealth nations, and um, they did that this year, and I had Remembrance Day on our signage and different things over there in the London office. So, Steve, I'm gonna have to get my math uh, my math assistant here to help me with the numbers. So, Steve, let's see. Here we go. 27 plus 12 plus our 71 takes us up to 110 for the week. That is certainly a high for us. It makes sense during Veterans Day, doesn't it? 110. Then if I take our total number and add Steve's in, and adjust, carry the one, and adjust the number. Okay, drum roll. We are at a grand total of 3,147. 3,147 thank yous since we started doing this. Wow, incredible, huh? Which reminds me, we had to update our signage, and Lori did that for us this week. If you remember, she had a sign made when we hit 1,000, and then when we hit 2,000, she modified it, and then we've since hit 3,000, so she modified it. And let me go up. There we go. You can see right there. She's got a gold 3 there in front of the 3,000. So we have exceeded that a few weeks ago, but we're just getting around to updating that. Very nice American flag with the Speaking of Zane logo. How about that? Big hand clap for Lori for keeping up on that. And we'll go back. Get my camera right there. We go. So good work, everybody. Yeah, that's a big wow, Ken. We're really up there. Oh, that's great, Steve. The young ladies in the office in London sent me a picture of them, and they had poppies on, and it's the first time at our company that they've done it we've done it over there as a company. So that's kind of cool. That's the same group that did the 5K run over the summer with me there in the London office. And we should do that again next year. They will anyway. I'm not sure of my travel schedule next year. But good stuff. Steve, that's awesome. So we are getting up there in the Thank a Vet category. It certainly was the week for it, for sure. Well, let's see. Organizations running to honor. Speaking of running, I had a good chat with Aaron yesterday, who is the founder and I guess president of the Running to Honor organization, and he and I had a chat about the 2026 Running to Honor, which will feature Zane and his story. And Aaron wanted to pick my brain and get some ideas and start planning for that. That'll be in 2026, and it'll be the 10th. It'll be 10 years that Zane has been gone by then. So it's kind of coincidental there, but very nice. But yeah, I appreciate Aaron, and had a good chat with him, and planning is underway. So stay tuned. We got to get through 2025 first, and that I can't remember his theme, but just after the first of the year, I believe he will announce the theme for 2025, and registration will open and all of that stuff that we normally do. So we'll certainly let everybody know about it. And then, of course, we'll be anticipating 2026. And Lori's right. We're actually going to do the run, the race, the walk, whatever, there in Michigan, and that'll be great. I can't wait to give Aaron a really hearty handshake for everything he does, and heck, we might even stay in Michigan for a week or so. I've only been to the airport up there, and I hear it's beautiful in Michigan, so we might just make a vacation out of it. I'm assuming July. What was it, Lori? This year, I think it was the last day of July, maybe something like that. But it should be fun up there. And then, of course, My Warriors Place. Always activities going on down at My Warriors Place, and I mentioned, I think last time, I don't remember, but I got some of my colleagues that are going to activate to go out there and assist. I've connected because of my schedule. I don't know when the earliest I could get down there, but they don't need me. They can spin up a group of a dozen or 20, and I've connected them with Kelly, and we'll see how that develops there. All right. And then, of course, REITs Across America. Wow, it's already here. And, of course, the registration is open for that. REITs, you can sponsor REITs already. I posted in the Speaking of Zane Facebook group this afternoon. We have our own landing page that I created a few years back. You can go there if you want to. You can go to that one. That's the one where we're tracking Georgia National, and we're raising REITs for Georgia National. But and I've got one for work in place for Jefferson Barracks. But the one for Speaking of Zane is there on the Speaking of Zane Facebook page. And Brittany, yes, I'm looking forward to seeing you up there. You and your family there, and it'll be fun. And what was I saying? Oh, Reach Across America. So, but you don't have to. You can volunteer, obviously, or raise sponsor REITs for whatever cemeteries near you, like the folks in Omaha and Missouri and Florida and all over. But we do one. We've got one just for Speaking of Zane. We can track that, and you're more than welcome to do that. Okay, that'll be fun. This year's theme, I just realized that I had talked about the themes. This year's theme for Reach Across America is live with a purpose. Live with a purpose. Good advice there. By the way, if you go to the Reach Across America website, you can click on Reach Across America Radio. And this time of year, I start listening on, I can't remember, there's several platforms it's on, Spotify or, can't remember all the different platforms, but the one I use is iHeartRadio. Well, there's a radio station that plays wholesome sort of country, Americana, classic rock and roll kind of vibe, and they have all kinds of interviews and different things woven in, and I always love to listen on my afternoon walk. So Reach Across America Radio, and tell me what you guys think about it. Okay, well, unfortunately, we had some casualties over the last couple of weeks, and there may be more that I'm just not aware of. But there was an Army sergeant called David Johnson that was actually found dead after being missing. Was found dead on Fort Johnson, which I think is the old Fort Polk, which I think that's Louisiana. Well, there's a lot of suspicion around this case. If you go read, I can't remember where I was reading about it, but there's a lot of suspicion around what's going. There's no cause of death and all of that, so it's sad. And then there was an Army recruiter, Staff Sergeant Brian Tomaszewski, um, was killed in a motorcycle accident. He was a recruiter up in Seattle, Washington, and unfortunately passed in a motorcycle accident. And then there was Lori found this one and posted it, but there's a case of a sailor who had flown into Atlanta Airport from somewhere, rented a car, and was driving from Atlanta to Jacksonville, which is where I think he was based. It must be the Naval Air Station, but he didn't make it. And they found his body in a lake in Telfair County, in the river or in a lake. I can't remember, near a boat dock or something. But Telfair County's maybe 180 miles, I think they said, from Atlanta. But they haven't found the car, the rental car. It's the strangest thing. Another conundrum there. Just sad, for sure. So no, there's no more information. I didn't see any more information about it. But anyway, terrible. On a happier note, I read a really nice article about quite a number of airmen who were recently awarded a variety of medals as a result of some action that they took to thwart an Iranian attack with hundreds of drones and missiles. And of note was one crew, an F-15E, has a pilot in the front and a weapons systems officer in the back. And that duo were awarded the Silver Star. Wow. Third highest award. My dad is a recipient of the Silver Star, so I know, how serious that is. But this Air Force, the Air Force captain, the weapons systems officer is called Lacey Hester, Captain Lacey Hester. She happens to be the first female airman ever to be awarded the Silver Star. So that's quite something there, and really good article there. I put it on the Speaking of Zane Facebook group there. So congratulations to Captain Hester and her pilot, Major Benjamin, forget his last name, but very good to be recognized there for the action they took, and no doubt lives that they saved. Okay, I know I'm forgetting something. It's been a couple of weeks, and I know as soon as I wrap it up here on Speaking of Zane, I'm going to remember something, and I'll just have to write it down and talk about it next week. Ken, I did see your post there. I'm so sorry about that. One of Ken's colleagues passed of cancer, Mike Poppert. I guess that's how you say it, but that's a shame there, Ken. Okay, folks. Well, appreciate y'all stopping by here for Speaking of Zane. Look forward to seeing everybody again next Sunday. I have no reasons not to next Sunday, but then the first 2 Sundays in December, like I mentioned, Lori and I will be in London, so I'll have to figure out. I can't remember if I did. Do you guys remember? Did I do any Speaking of Zane from London last year? I was there for 3 weeks, and I just don't recall. I'd have to look back at my notes, but it's they're 5 hours ahead, so it's like 2:15 in the morning there right now. So my guess is I didn't. But might do some on location sort of things. We'll see how things go. But that's getting a little ahead of myself. We got 2 weeks home here, and we're excited. I think we are hosting Thanksgiving. Oh, I've got an announcement. We are hosting Thanksgiving, and our son Jackson, his wife Caitlin, and our precious little Spitfire Carson will be over, and then our daughter Hannah, her new husband Kaleem, and our grandson Everett will be here, and um, we can formally announce now that Hannah and Kaleem are going to be parents. And not only that, they found out that they are having a little girl. So we've got another granddaughter on the way. So how about that? How many granddaughters is that for us now? Carson, Zaylee, and Paisley. Carson, Zaylee, Paisley. Am I missing one? Or will that be four granddaughters? Yeah, Paisley, Carson. Yeah. Oh no, Maya. Yeah, we have Maya too. So four. So this would be five. So Maya is a bonus granddaughter. She's one of the twins, Everett's little sister, and she's adorable. But see, when you have this many grandkids, you lose count. I do. Now, Lori knows everybody's birthday. She knows the time of day they were all born. Thank goodness she knows all of that, keeps track of all of that for us. And I think Tyler's son, Colby, just had a birthday, right, Lori? And he's 5. And then Carson will be 5 and on New Year's Eve. So we've got them. We have some of them that are kind of bundled together there, but 6. He'll be 6. Yeah. See, I told you, Lori knows all that stuff. Lori knows all that stuff. She could tell me, but it would leak out, and I would not. I would need to write it all down. But thankfully, I don't have to. But okay. Well, thanks everybody. Great to catch up again. Steve and Kathy, you guys have a bon voyage, and we'll look forward to seeing you upon your return. Keep posting the awesome pics, and the rest of y'all have a great week, and we'll look forward to seeing you again next Sunday for Speaking of Zane. Will be our 302nd edition. Looking forward to it. Bye bye.